there's a lot of hate against foreigner drivers.
Why is
Because you want me to use questions? They're just a dumb truck driver.
Hey, but you gotta remember, I'm in the industry. You're not.
Welcome to the Truck Stop Show. My name is Ali. Today we're joined by Connor.
How's it going?
Who is actually a new truck driver. He hasn't done this for a long time. So we'll see what he has to say about trucks and his startup trucking career. Connor, how you doing?
Not too bad. Yourself?
How do you feel to be here?
Oh, pretty good. It's different. Not used to it. Never had a mic in my face. Hockey career clearly didn't go anywhere. But
tell us about it.
The hockey career didn't go anywhere.
No,
no, I don't know.
Well, there was a plan to be in.
Oh yeah, and then I started drinking beer. So,
what does beer has to do with hockey?
Just wasn't athletic anymore. Put the barrel on, and figured might as well truck, right?
Exactly. So tell us how long you've done this.
Since April this year now. So what's that? Terrible at math.
A few months, not couple, a few months.
Yeah, not too bad.
And how do you like it so far?
Oh, it's great. It's great. Got right into the right kind of industry that fits me as well too. So I've been enjoying it since I started, and don't think I'm going to stop. So
not many young people want to get into trucking. What motivated you to get into trucking?
I honestly, a big part of it was, my grandpa trucked, so I kind of was around them. But when I started, when I was first out of high school, I went to college for operating to get my tickets for, excavators, loaders, things like that. So then I shot out to Alberta, started working out there, loading trucks all the time, working around them. Got to see some pretty sick rigs out there too. Kind of started talking to some of those guys. They were telling me, one, not that that's the most important thing, but one, the money. It was a little bit better than what I was doing. But the other thing too is I like to drive, always have. So being it could be a career, it's not too bad. So I enjoy it. I don't think I'd change it or want to go any other way. So
when you decided to get into trucking, was there support from the family or no?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I had talked to my dad about it before. I'd always worked around him, and he was a big inspiration. But I was on farms all the time and things like that, and we'd work for farms where cattle trucks would be coming in. I always seen that. Always thought they were super sick, and there's not really a truck pulling a cattle pot that doesn't look amazing. So that was another thing to it, and he was pushing it as soon as I kind of brought up the idea, because he told me, he's like, you'd make good money, you could have a great career out of it. He's like, I think you'd enjoy it too. So he was really supportive. Mom, same. She doesn't really like me leaving. She wants me to be home, but if other than that, she's happy. She she always talks to me about it. I'll call her while I'm driving and things like that. And same with the old man, but they're both super supportive about it, and they're just happy I found something that I enjoy. So
you're only 23 years old.
Yeah.
And what were you? So you said you were in Alberta before.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of work were you doing there?
It was chip and micro seal. So basically like road paving, but they just do it a little bit differently out there. Obviously the weather's different and things like that. For the most part, all I was doing was I was in a gravel pit with, about 10, 15 trucks or so, loading them up with 35, 40 ton worth of it's basically gravel, but it just spreads down. So they run an oil truck down the highway, and then you got a machine that the truck's back into it, and it actually hooks onto their trailer, and then you got to basically snake your truck backwards because it drags you up the road. Spreads the chip down through the chipper, and then you give it about a day or so, and it's dry. Now you got a road. So it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it, but I don't know.
Was trucking better than that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, way better. Because even when I was out there, I was I started to. Honestly, that's where the trucking thing kind of started, after I was talking to them. And even before that, running cattle was kind of always an idea of mine. And then kind of just started chasing a little bit more then, and came back home. First thing I figured I'd do is get an AZ. So,
You got your AZ and you went straight into livestock hauling, right?
Yeah.
And tell us about livestock.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not a job for everybody.
Why is that?
It's dirty. It's dirty work. It's pretty. I mean, it's not like, you're just going to open your doors or, plug a hose in or something like that. You're getting in the trailer with 50, 60, in each pen you have. So the trailer's just got about like 10 to 12 sections in it, right? But you're getting in there with, 20, 30, 500-600 pound animals. And it's like, they can do some damage to you. And, when you have cows, it's even bigger. You can get some, I don't know, everyone's seen a bull before, like they can get pretty damn big. So, it's just not, it's not for everyone. It's a tough job. It's hard work. I mean, you got to clean your trailer. That's not fun. Everyone knows how disgusting those animals are. So, pigs are gross and they don't have manners clearly, but so yeah, I just kind of go with that. I mean, not a lot of people want to do it either. It's kind of not a dying industry, but there's a lot of companies right now like struggling to find guys that want to do it, right? Because not everyone knows how to drive a 6-speed either, and none of these cattle trucks are going to the new automatics because, I mean, they can still do the same as an old truck, but everyone knows the old stuff's a little bit better than the new stuff. So,
trucking is very diverse. You could be hauling, the box trailer or liquid trailer or bulk or like different stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So you actually plan to get into livestock?
Yeah, that was a goal because, I mean, in my personal opinion, I don't think anything looks better behind a big rig than a cattle plot. They look amazing. You got 100, 200 chicken lights down the side of it. Your whole truck's lit up. Like you're the sun going down a highway, right? Everyone looks at you. Everyone looks at the cattle guys, It's fun. And there's kind of like their own little community to it, which I thought was pretty cool. You drive by a grain or feed truck or another cattle guy, it's kind of cool, but it's like the little Subaru wave. Everyone hit them with a little, little wave. So that's kind of fun. I mean, maybe you get that in the other stuff, but I don't know.
Well, not so much anymore.
Yeah, those guys aren't maybe as cool as us, but
What about this? The chicken lights on cattle trailers.
Oh, they're great. You light the whole trailer up. I mean, I didn't never learn anything about it. I don't think it's really for anything. I think they just do it for show. But yeah, they look amazing going down the highway. You go buy a dry van or something, you got, your lights on the back and you got maybe one or two on the side or whatever. But you go buy a cattle pot and it's got 100 on the top, 100 on the bottom. You're lighting up the whole highway. They don't care what lights we put on them either. Like, you can. I mean, hell, my truck, I've got the lighting all underneath the wheels, it's the whole underglow thing all throughout the truck. And everyone does it. Like, they all do it, and guys get pretty unique with their colorings and stuff. So it kind of adds a little bit of taste onto everyone's truck. So it's cool. And I mean, most of us, you start pretty damn early or you're driving through the night. So you don't really, I don't know, you do drive through the day, but, a lot of the cattle trucks you're going to see out when no one's really out there. So
as a bull hauler, are you responsible to make sure that all the animals are safe and they're behaving? And is that your responsibility as a driver?
Like, kinda. Your big responsibility is you don't want any of them to die. Obviously, it happens. Like, last week I had probably about 2 or 3 pigs die on me in different days. I mean, it's just bound to happen. They're big animals. When you start moving, some of them will lie down. And then if, a lot of the time, honestly, when they're all together, you'll get 1 or 2 of them that start kind of fighting each other. And if they start fighting each other and then fall on one that's lying down, like 600 pounds to your head, that's going to kill about anything. So, yeah, you're kind of responsible for it. But once they get in your trailer, they're in the trailer and nothing's really happening to them until they get to their drop off. If you're going super far, I think it's like 27 hours. You'll have to let them out once. Obviously for like food and water, but for the most part, once they get in the trailer, they're getting put to the next farm. Nobody's touching them. So if they die in the trailer, it kind of just happens. If it's obviously like a handful of them, you're gonna get your wrist slapped or whatever. But one or two places, they kind of let it go. You usually just got to fill out some paperwork or whatever. But yeah,
So when you show up to the customer and there's a few animals dead, do you have any questions to answer there?
Sometimes it depends where you go. Like you go to Conestoga, it's not too bad. Some of the other kill plants, their protocols are a little bit different. Everyone's different, so it kind of depends how they handle it. Some places, I mean, buddy of mine, they had like I think 2 or 3 of them die, and like he had to talk on the phone with like some friggin' animal activist or something like that, like PETA, whatever it is, I don't know, whoever they were, but they were calling him and asking him all these questions and things like that, and basically like interrogating him. So if they can't really like prove there was anything you did to do it, I mean, it happens. They're animals. They're gonna die. It also depends what you're bringing too. Like if you got market hogs or something like that, like the meat we're gonna eat in the store, those animals, like, they're healthy, obviously, like good meat, but they're not healthy. Like their heart, their lungs, things like that, they juice them up to be so big, so they have bad heart problems and things like that. So if they get super stressed out, like they can have heart attacks, things like that. Like it's happened 100 times. Like they get out the trailer and then they start having a heart attack, and you just see them kind of pulsing on the ground. But once they're off the trailer, it's not your problem. So if they die in the barn, I don't care.
Do you plan to change your hauling sometime soon, or you think you're gonna be stuck with this?
I'm gonna be stuck with this. I don't know what most of the guys I work with, they told me once you're in it, you're stuck in it. So, I enjoy it, and I don't think I'd really have much more fun doing anything else in trucking. I think if I were to really change over to anything, I'd probably do like feed and grain haul, things like that. But definitely would want to stay kind of in the farming industry of it. Just more fun to me.
Right. So in this, in the past few months since you've doing this, which places have you been to so far?
Like kind of all around.
Yeah, I mean, how far have you gone so far?
Not too far. Like, well, for the most part, because I'm still like the young guy, right? So if I'm going anywhere far, I'm following somebody else. I mean, only places I've really gone on my own. I've dipped down into Michigan, dipped down into PA. Nothing too far. Like,
what about in Canada?
Canada, pretty far. We've been out. I've been out to Manitoba. I've been way up north. I've done a couple shots out to Alberta, things like that. But kind of all around here, especially if I'm local. Like if local for cattle is, you pick up in Sarnia and bring it to friggin' Huntsville or something like that. So kind of all depends where you're going. But
do you have any desired place to be? Like take a load, like let's say.
I mean, I'm really excited for down south. Down south's going to be great. Everything I've heard from other people that I know that truck and things like that, coworkers, everything, they've all told me I'm not ready for down there. Well, not ready for down there, but I'm not ready for how fast those guys go down there. So I guess down south, the cattle trucks are tuned up a little bit. So have to see how my truck handles down there. But I don't know. Maybe I'll get a little bit of a boost on my miles. But
what kind of truck are you driving right now?
So it's a 2007 Freightliner Classic flat top. So it's pre-emission. It's got a 12.7 Detroit, I believe, 13 speed. It's pretty sick. She's got some juice to her. For like legal purposes, governed, but we all know that's not true.
So what part have you disliked about trucking so far?
Disliked, I mean, it's obviously going to happen, but just like other idiots on the road. Like ever since I started driving truck, I realized like how many people suck at driving, like half the people in this country need to get their license pulled. It's unbelievable.
You sit up,
But-
you know, when you're a truck driver, you sit up and you see more.
everything. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know, like
Yeah.
I've watched like so many stupid accidents, and you know, like the other day, like we're sitting there, we're about like 20, 30 minutes out of our farm, so you know, our unload's not for another couple hours, and they're pretty strict with what time they want you to be there at. So we're just hanging out, and we're watching a guy like pull out of this, obviously like this truck stop we're at, right? And he's going to pull out and like just straight left, like right into the ditch. Like the ditch was right there, and he drives into it, and like he's got it on the dash cam. Couldn't believe it. And then about last week, coming back from Quebec, buddy of mine, car just starts driving and just comes right over into the side of him. And it's like, I don't know. She said she didn't see him in her mirror, but like she looks to the right and the truck's wheel was like right there. I don't know. A lot of people just shouldn't be driving. That's the big thing I've noticed.
Is it lack of training, Connor, you think? Or is
think
just
it's-
people are designed this way?
I think it's just stupidity. I don't know.
Is there any way to fix it?
No, probably not. Especially with how our government is. Definitely won't. You know, they, I don't know. Something's got to change somewhere. I mean, I came out all right, but I don't know. Half these people just, I don't know where they're getting them, a cereal box or something. But
You know, I've been told by somebody that anybody who gets a car license should at least drive for some time with a truck driver so they get to see what's going on in a truck. And, you know, like that's a suggestion I have heard before.
I could agree with it. Or I think they need to put like, I don't know, just start pulling people's licenses after. Like if you're like 6 months in, you get into an accident and it's your fault, just pull the license. Don't give them another chance. Just no. Take it away.
It's a suggestion,
You know?
but it can be very tough on some
start
people.
taking
right?
it away when they get older. That's the other thing. I think, and not everyone. There's a lot of like, you know, old boys that can still drive, but you know, there's also some people that I think have cataracts and things like that and don't want to see a doctor. So they continue to drive and, you know, they just cause issues for us. So that's what it is.
What are some of the issues you see on the road other than driving habits?
I mean, honestly, like some of the other truckers, lack of respect, things like that. Not so much down in the States, but up here in Canada, I've noticed like there's not a lot of respect between all the truckers, things like that. Like I'll have other trucks cut me off, things like that, and it's kind of like, I don't know. Thought we were all kind of supposed to be on the same team here,
Yeah.
but I don't know. That's probably the biggest one. Other than that, like
The
I
trucking
don't-
culture was a huge thing, you know, for ever since the mass industrialization. But things are changing quite a bit now because, as you said, not a lot of respect on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lack of communication too among truck drivers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it's because of the technology or is just the people behavior is changing?
I think it could be a little bit of both because, I don't know, like a lot of those new trucks, all the stuff they put in them, like I don't think that's like the safest thing. A lot of them have, I don't know, like anti-lock or I don't know what it is, like ABS will kick in or something, right? And it's like, I think a lot of at least what I find is a lot of the trucks you see crashed are a lot of the newer ones. And I think it's stuff they're putting in them. Like, I think a truck should be pretty raw. I don't think it should have a computer telling you things because it's not a car. I don't think cars should be like that either, but it's not a car. It's, you know, depending on what you're pulling, it's a pretty heavy vehicle. And I don't think it should be relying on a computer to pick up something on a radar or something like that. I think it should be human and paying attention. That's, I mean, at least what I would say. Like, I think if anyone is going to drive truck, I think they should drive something older before they drive something newer. Kind of see the difference of the two of them. You can tell a lot more with the older trucks. And
You know, when you drive an older truck and especially the manual transmission, I know automatic is easy on the body, but with, you know, manual trucks and older trucks more so, people are more involved in driving.
yeah,
And that involvement ultimately leads to safety, right? So newer trucks, they, you know, like they have all sorts of comforts and all that. And then, you know, that make people, you know, the driving bit lazy a bit, I believe.
oh yeah. And I mean, like, a big one. I mean, not all of them are like this, but when you drive an old truck, half the shit don't work in it. So, your cruise control and shit's not working. You got to pay attention to the road. You can't just set your cruise control and like pull up a movie on your iPad or something.
Well, you can't do too many miles if the cruise control is not working, right?
I mean, like,
Well, the leg would hurt, would it not?
I mean, like, not really. You just float them, and I mean, I don't know. It depends where you're going. If you're going through the city and stuff, yeah, your leg's probably hurt. But for the most part, like, I don't know, we're out on the country roads and the highways and things like that. We're not really in the cities. So for me, I don't think it's too bad. But I don't know. I think that's what I would think a lot of people should do first. And
Connor, how's dealing with dispatchers in livestock?
Oh, it's perfect. They like don't really talk to me. yeah.
They don't talk to you?
Not really. No.
Why not?
So like you go and you get your paperwork. You go into the truck, you fill it out, and then depending on what I'm doing, and because every farm's different. Like if I got to scale in or something like that, then I have to call dispatch, tell them I scaled in, and then you got to call the farmer. Hey, I'm going to be. Say you're an hour and a half from his farm, tell him, right? But for the most part, they leave me my paperwork and don't really talk to me till, I don't know, halfway through the day.
So what about the backhaul, which is like a huge, a tug of war between the driver and the dispatcher?
Yeah, so, no, not much. No, they.
Do you bring backhauls?
Like sometimes, but they, I don't know, they kind of leave us alone. Maybe it's different at other companies, but at least with ours, she texts you randomly in the middle of the day and like say you're gonna be dropping something off that day. Okay, here's your pickup for tomorrow. So yeah, like go on your way, go get the job done. So it's pretty laid back. It's pretty nice. Don't really have to sit on the phone with them or anything. The other thing too, the farmers. Mostly all of them are respectful. You get one or two that they're arrogant, but I haven't really met a bad farmer. Half of them are Mennonites too, so they're pretty nice people.
Yeah, that's true. Do you get gifts and stuff like that too?
Depends. Like sometimes you'll get like, if they got like fruits or something like that, they'll offer them, but they don't usually offer us too much because we're covered in their animals' shit and piss, so we're not really the people you want to be standing too close to for too long. So
in livestock, do you get trailers preloaded or you go get them loaded or how does it work?
So we do the loading ourselves. So you go to the barn, you find what chute they want you in. So you'll back the door up to the chute. You'll pull your door up. You got, depending on your trailer, 10, 12 sections, maybe a little less, all depends on what you're hauling really. And then farmers, they'll have, a bunch of guys working in the barn and they'll come out, and then, say, depends on the size of them really, but, they'll bring out, say it's market hogs. So, pretty big hogs, bring out maybe like 10, 15 around there. If it's piglets, Jesus Christ, they bring I think like 200 at a time or something like that. Like it's just a swarm of them coming out. But it all really depends. But we gotta load them, we gotta unload them. So that's kind of the other thing why I don't think it's for everyone. Those animals can get pretty nasty with you in there. They can, they can hurt you. They're, obviously not the piglets. If you get hurt by a piglet, I don't know what to tell you. But, a full-size hog or, a full-size cow or something like that, or a bull, like everyone's seen them. They're big. They can do damage. And sometimes it happens. It's kind of bound to happen if you're in the industry. You're going to get in the trailer one day with one that doesn't like you, or you zap them in the wrong spot or something like that. He doesn't like you, and they're going to turn around on you and they come at you. Like, I've had couple hogs come at me pretty quick and they'll charge at you and they can do some damage, but you just got to kind of stand your ground. And I don't know, they're, as silly as it sounds, they're animals, but they can sense fear and things like that. And if you're afraid of the animal or you're nervous around it, it's going to pick that up and it's going to
It's just very interesting what you're telling me, because I don't know how many people get a chance to pull livestock.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
many. It's
It's definitely a hard career to get into. I think the biggest one with it is because a lot of livestock companies are family owned. Their drivers are their kids, their nephews, their uncles, everything like that. Obviously, you have a lot of bigger name companies and things like that, but it's they want to. I don't know. They want to be able to trust you to be able to do it because it is a lot, right? Like, depending on what you're bringing, your trailer could be worth like $1 million or something like that, depending on the value of the animal, right? So it's big trust, and they can't just have anyone do it. The trailers, they're depending on which one you're pulling, whether it's a tri-axle or something like that, or it's got a lift axle. They turn a lot differently than most trailers do. So you got to go a little bit wider. Your wheels are all the way at the back, and you can't move them. So that makes it a little bit difficult to go through tight spots. But you got to pay close attention. Your trailer's a little bit, not too much taller, but it's a little bit taller than a drive-in, I think. So you just gotta pay attention. It's a big job.
It is. Yeah, it takes a lot of responsibility to do all this work when, especially, there's animals involved, right? And as you said, they don't take too much instruction.
Yeah.
So once you do the offloading, are you responsible of cleaning the trailer afterwards?
Yeah. So, not every company's like this, I don't think. But at least ours, when we come back, we've got this massive pile at our yard, and obviously, so throughout the trailer, you spread down wood chips, make the floor a little bit softer for the animals. The pigs just eat it. So if you have pigs, it can get kind of messy, or they just eat all the wood chips, and then you don't have anything to really clean up. But at least for us, we have a wash bay, things like that. So I get back to the yard, I'll jump in the trailer with a broom and a shovel. You just kind of, we have doors on the side, or you'll have little kind of cubby things. They'll open up. So you just get all the wood chips out. You clean it the best you can, really. Kind of only get the big stuff. And then we have kind of section over where we park all the dirty trailers. So you'll pull it out, you'll throw it back where the dirty trailers are. And then throughout the night, they have a rotating shift. So wash bay, they'll come with the one truck they use and pull it into the bay. They'll pull, I think, about 2 trailers in at a time. They disinfect the whole trailer, clean the whole trailer, because biosecurity is a really big thing with livestock. Obviously, we're all eating it. So, well, for the most part. But, it's a pretty big deal. They don't want any cross-contaminating. A lot of farms are strict too. Like, we work for a company kind of we do most of their stuff, but they have trailers on our yard that like they own, but we can't use them for any farms. We can only use them for their farms. They need to be washed like crazy thoroughly. And you can't take them anywhere. They got trackers, so they know if we take them anywhere else. But cross-contaminated is a big deal. There's a lot that's going on to it is there's a lot of things you got to pay attention to. It's a lot more work than just driving the truck, giving paperwork, something like that. You still have paperwork, but you have all these other responsibilities too. So
we'll take a break at this moment. We'll join you guys shortly. Welcome back to the Truck Stop Show. And once again, we're joined by Connor, who is in Livestock. And we were talking about the livestock and trucking. So, Connor, why is bull hauling not so diverse, even though trucking is going extremely diverse?
So that's a bad one to touch.
No, it's not. I want to talk about this.
Because there's an honest answer of it, but it's not probably the best answer to say over the internet.
That's okay. Go ahead.
But
Spit it out. Spit it out.
I mean, a big No, it'd be too bad. It'd be too bad.
Come on, give it
I don't
to
know.
me.
I'd say like the biggest one.
Hang on a second. To begin with, it is not diverse, right?
Nah, not really.
And rest of trucking doesn't matter whether it's people pulling dirt, rocks,
yeah.
car parts, or any of that stuff. That's extremely diverse.
Oh yeah,
because not many people are getting into trucking.
Yeah.
But it's great to see a young guy, at the age of 23 doing trucking and getting straight into livestock. But my question is, why livestock is not diverse?
Okay. Well, the honest answer, in my opinion, is I think a lot of farmers are racist. A lot of farmers are racist. I'd say a lot of the companies are as well. I mean, not every company, not calling everyone out here, but I think that's a big thing with it is I don't know. You're also working with Mennonites and stuff, and like they don't see those,
Foreign looking.
Yeah, they don't see those people all the time, especially if they're like Amish or something. They don't leave their house.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd say that's kind of one of them. But the other thing too is like I think a lot of I'm not speaking for everyone, but I think a lot of those guys like just wouldn't really enjoy them. I mean, especially like I don't know the rules against it, but
yeah, like you're trying to say
like with pork.
Yeah,
like that thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Is that against the rules? If you're like
some religions, yeah.
It's like so like if they're like a certain religion, I don't know if that goes against their.
Or some people are vegetarian too. Some cultures.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
So how do you handle smell around animals? Do you smell it anymore?
Oh yeah. I mean, like you obviously smell it. Like you can't really. I mean, I don't know. Like it doesn't really bug me too much. My dad, he's a barn painter. So I've been around farms like my whole life. I've been around cows, pigs, anything. So working with him from like a young age, kind of always around it. So I mean, I want to say you get used to it, but I don't know if everyone does. Also, like sometimes it's not too bad. You get like, the odd time you'll get trailer that they're really not too bad. Don't make too much of a mess. Doesn't really smell too bad. The winter's not too bad. The summer it can get a little worse. It's hot. It gets real gross. But
are you bothered by this at all?
No, it doesn't bother me. Like, yeah, sometimes like this is why I load the bottom now and then I load the top. But before I loaded the top and then I'd load the bottom. There's openings and I was sitting there and then a pig just started pissing on me and. Like, then it was kind of gross, then it's not fun. It's like, you get pissed off. No one wants to get pissed on. So it's like, it can get gross then, but for the most part, it's really not too bad. That's another reason why I'll say it's not for everyone, not everyone wants to be around that. And some people can't handle it, their stomachs, things like that. Funny enough, like I have probably one of the weakest stomachs ever. You can start gagging in front of me, I'm going to throw up. Like, I will throw up if someone does that. But I can work around farm animals, no issue.
And that doesn't make you throw up?
No.
Yeah,
like,
so I guess you're made for this then.
I'll load, like, 200-300 pigs or something like that. And then I'll, have it all over my hands, go into the truck, and I'm eating a sandwich or something like that. Like, it doesn't bother me. But
do you ever grab, a piglet and you say, "Oh, you're cute"?
All the time. I love the piglets. Piglets, like, some guys hate doing piglets. I love doing them. They're cute. They're great. They're pretty funny.
But you know where they're going, though, right?
No, they don't kill them. No.
No, I mean, ultimately, they're being raised
eventually.
to be
like,
food.
Like, they're either going to be a whore or they're going to get killed. Like, you're either going to be a breeder or you're going to turn into a market hog. So, you're either going to be an unhealthy fat fuck or you're just going to be a whore. There's no in between.
So do you process this when you're pulling them or you don't at all?
No. You just like, kind of, I don't know. They're cute. They're funny. And like they come in huge swarms. Like, when they bring them in, they'll bring like 200-300 of them in one go. And you got to put all of them in the trailer. But they're super like skittish and scared of you. So, I've got a little jerry can. It's got a bunch of BBs in it. You just get behind them. Once they bring them all into your trailer, I just put a board in between the door. You just start shaking the thing and they all just start running. They don't want to be anywhere near it. You get one or two that want to go back into the barn, but you just hold the board in front of them and That's another thing. They claim these animals are so smart. I swear to God, they're the stupidest things I've ever met, like ever seen in my life. Like even today, I'm trying to unload them. There's about like six. No, there's probably like 8 or 9 of them in the corner, and so I'm shaking it like in their face to get them to go this way, and they're like leaping and just jumping into the cage, like they're jumping into the wall, and it's like you're not going anywhere. Like turn around. Like they're very like they say they're smart. I don't believe it. I think they're so stupid, and like it's you'd think like oh it's just because they're piglets. No, they do it when they're 500-600 pounds too. Like they will just run into the walls. You try and push them out. There's one door open, the other door's closed, and they're trying to go through the closed door. Like they're not smart.
Do you just stand there and scream? "Oh, why don't you listen?"
No, I just stand there and a lot of the time I'm not gonna lie, like I'm a child and I start laughing at them. Like I think it's really funny because I'm just looking at a dumb animal that's running into a wall. But
So you have fun with this.
oh yeah. Like I won't even like when they start walking in the wall. Like yeah, I'll keep like trying to get them out the trailer, but I'll kind of just stand there and watch them and see how many times they're gonna walk into the wall before they realize that the door's open beside them. I mean, we use a prong. That usually works pretty good. Or you piss them off, they turn around and come at you. It's kind of hit or miss, Most of the time it works, but then you have one that, for the most part, it's other, not all the time, but it's also other truckers that do that. Like, if they've been like, kind of harsh with the animal or something like that, that's when they become smart, is because they remember those things. So when the trailer backs up to the door and they're coming through the chute, they see the trailer, they get like a memory of however he was handled, and then they don't want to get in the trailer. So sometimes it can be, it's kind of sad because, like last week I had one, it was trying to come into the trailer and it did not want to go in the trailer. I mean, keep in mind, it's a 500-pound pig and there's 2 little 100-pound Vietnamese men trying to move it. It's not really going too well. So they were trying everything. They're banging them. They're slapping them with a little, I don't know, not a pole, like a pipe, but a broomstick, plastic broomstick, right? And they're trying to get him to move, and he's just sat down and he's not moving. So they go, and like this is when it got a little bad. They put a bag over his head so he couldn't see anything, and they were still trying to get him to move. He just sat down. So gave him my prong. He wouldn't even move for the taser. So I don't know who did it. Something to him in the trailer. He wasn't getting in the trailer. So when it's that kind of case, they kill him at the farm. So it kind of sucks when they have to kill him. If they don't come off the trailer, they'll kill him too.
And why is that? Explain so people don't get angry at this.
So they're going to kill plants. Obviously, that's when they'll do this. I mean,
or let's call it butcher house.
Yeah. They'll go to a butcher, right?
Yeah.
So it's a humane way they do it. They don't. It's not like it's inhumane the way they kill them. They're not.
And I'm sure there's regulations about it too.
Oh yeah. There's
a way to do it. Yeah, I know in the province of Ontario, the slaughter code is quite comprehensive.
Oh yeah.
Right?
And like especially like that's even stuff we have to pay attention to. They're super strict on us. They're super strict on the people that are working at those places. Like the animals are the biggest thing in the industry is the animal's well-being is the most important thing in anything. So like that's why a lot of the time too, if there's really bad traffic, things like that, police will try and get the cattle trucks out of the way, because if you're just sitting there on a 30-degree day, they're gonna die in that trailer, right? You're not going to get pulled into a scale house all the time. They'll see you coming down the road, they'll grab someone else instead of you. Mm-hmm. Not saying you'll never get pulled into a scale, but you're not going to get pulled in very often. Cops kind of let you be, like I've flown by OPP doing 120, 125 past them in an 80 or something like that, and they just kind of let us be. I mean, if you're unloaded, you're playing with fire, you got no reason to be doing that. You're loaded, different story. They'll let you go. But the animal well-being is the biggest part.
Connor, what do truck drivers hate? When they pull into a truck stop and they're tired and they're trying to sleep, and the last thing you want is a bull hauler just parking right beside you.
Oh yeah,
because at 5 a.m.
I'm that asshole. I am that asshole.
It's gonna be different. They'll be screaming
when I go through the towns, the cities. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. I'm listening to my Jakes. Okay. So, and the other thing, if I'm okay, this is when I'm going to sound like an asshole. If I'm at a truck stop, like, I think it's funny. Cause like, I'm not going to lie. If I was sleeping and I got woke up cause I have buddies that do it. But if I got woken up from Jake's, I'm not going to be that mad. But like, I know some of those guys get pissed off. So, I'm a shit disturber. I always was. Even in hockey, I was. So it's like, I'm going to continue to do it. It's funny.
No, well, I was referring to when animals in the morning just make extreme sounds, and they're trying to run away because when it's the dawn time.
Oh yeah,
they're acting differently, right?
Oh yeah, and they're like cows, not too bad. They'll moo or something like that. But pigs, they're really loud. The pigs are loud because especially if they start fighting, because then you have like, say you got 20 or 30 of them in a pen. You've got all 30 of them screaming now because the two are fighting and bumping into the other ones. So now they're freaking out. And then, so if you're sitting beside one of those trailers, depending on how soundproof your cab is, you're not going to get much sleep.
Yeah.
I mean.
So, O'Connor, I can definitely tell that you're having tons of fun with this.
Oh, yeah.
And you do plan to do this for a long time. Let's talk a little bit about trucking. Do you so far feel with the amount of pay you get and the kind of work you do, trucking is a good trade for any young person to get into right now?
I'd say yes, but it depends which way you're going to want to go with trucking. If you're going to want to go LTL or something like that, I'd say no, because there's a million of them, everyone does it. If you were to get into cattle, heavy haul, things like that. There's definitely money in that industry. But I think for the most part, with a lot of the very common trucks you see on the road and common trailers you see on the road, obviously, the other stuff is too, but, you go down the 401 or something like that, you see about 100 dry vans in 5 minutes or so, and I'd say in that industry around there's probably not too much money. I don't know personally. Maybe I'm wrong. But there's definitely money in the industry I've chosen. I have friends that are in feed, and there's money in that industry. I think it just depends which way you want to go with trucking.
So all the jobs you've done in the past, you make the most money in this?
Yeah. The operating equipment was not close, but closest. And I mean, really, other than that, I worked for my dad. So, I got paid well with my dad, but I also, didn't want to take a bunch of money from him because it was my dad. So, we'd rather put more money in his pocket than mine.
So, Connor, a little bit of a personal question here. What's your relationship status right now?
Oh, yeah. Like I got my girlfriend.
And when you go home from work and then you said that it is not the most pleasant smell, right? Mm-hmm. Do you get an objection?
I mean, to be honest, she won't even touch me if I get like grease on my hand. So not really. And I pretty sure it's like a set rule. I kind of have to shower before I go see her. So I don't know. I mean, other than that, she's pretty great with it.
And what about the working hours? Because I know you can work long hours, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or sometimes you don't even come home, right?
Yeah. No, you can. The hours kind of all depend. I mean, we also have it's called an aggregate. Forget the actual wording of it, but we're not strictly set to our 13 hours like every other kind of trucking industry is. Kind of comes into play with the well-being of the animal. We're allowed to go over our logbook a little bit. I think it's 150 kilometers. Everyone goes past that, but that's why some guys will get, that's why there's money in it, because you can get a load done really fast. It's not safe, but if you decide to not sleep and, send it for 18 hours straight, like you can cover a lot of land in 18 hours, right? So it all depends. And I mean, if you get pulled over too, like 90% of the time, not every time, but when they come to look at your logbook, if you tell them you're on the ag logbook now, they're not really going to check it because they just figure, okay, you're doing your 150 and then pulling over. They trust you, which is terrible. Police should not trust us, but whatever.
Connor, how dangerous are our roads?
Pretty dangerous. Well, I mean, the people cause it, but also the roads. Like, I mean, I don't think they fix any pothole that ever comes up in any city or any town. But
Well, in terms of safety and like the driving habits, and you did talk about this a bit, but
like weather, things like that.
not just the weather. I mean, like overall road safety. Like the enforcement, and distracted driving is a huge problem these days, right?
Oh yeah,
Stuff like that.
definitely. I'm I'm bad for it because I go on my phone sometimes, but I'm not stupid with it. If I'm going on my phone, I'm 6, I don't know, even farther. I don't know, like 8 cars, 9 cars behind somebody, right? But I do it to check and then I'm off it, right? Because our dispatch, like, they text us, they won't call us or something. I mean, sometimes they will, but for the most part, they'll just send you a text. So you check it real quick. But I mean, there's a lot of guys that are bad for it. I've been going down the highway and, guys got movies on their iPad or like TV or something like that, or, they're scrolling Instagram or TikTok or something. So I think there should be more of it. I also don't think there should be because I like to change my music and like watch podcasts. But I don't watch the podcast. Like this is the thing.
Let's to make it clear that you are a safe driver.
Yeah. No, I am, because it's I don't think it's a terrible thing. Because I think there's some people that can do it.
Well, you need to listen to something, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
but
you need to be.
I think if you're gonna go and if you're gonna look at your phone or you're gonna, whatever, just do it quickly and then look back at the road. Don't fucking sit there for a half hour, scrolling
up and down. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Still pay attention and do it safely, or like get one of those mounts where it's like, right up here. Because if you're looking at the phone, you're coming towards cars this way. You're a moron if you don't see them.
And then that's why you see big things happen on the road.
Yeah.
Connor, talk to a young guy and tell them why they should get into trucking.
I mean, you look like a pimp. Depending on what you do, it's pretty cool. It's fun. I mean, for the most part, it depends on what you're doing, but you make your own hours, you make your own time, and if you're getting sent stateside and things like that, you kind of choose when you get to wake up and go to bed, things like that. So if you want to drive through the night, drive through the night. You want to drive through the middle of the day, so be it. Whatever. Great money depending on where you go, but you kind of get to be your own boss in a sense, but not fully. If you're working for somebody, you still got a boss, but you can work towards being an owner operator, and then you are your own boss. You don't need
what kind of stuff you get to eat on the road?
To eat?
Yeah.
Oh,
do you ever pack your lunch?
Yeah. If I'm around, like here, I will. But if I don't know, it kind of.
Do you watch what you eat?
Yeah, a little bit. Like it probably doesn't fucking look like it, but this is beer, not food. Because I don't actually eat that much. I just drink a lot of beer, and I don't know. I'll get like one meal a day, maybe, or something like that. But for the most part, I try and.
You haven't tried those roller dogs yet?
No, I have. They're really good. I like those. They are good. Yeah.
What's the driver's obsession with roller dogs?
They're so good. Have you never been to dude, there's Circle K down the road. Go get one. They're good. They're really good. And same with a taquito. Have you ever had a taquito? Yeah, taquitos are good. But I try and go where I haven't eaten. That's my big thing. Like, I don't want to eat McDonald's or KFC or some shit. I want to go somewhere like I haven't eaten before. If I'm in little towns or something like that, or I'm somewhere I haven't been, I'll just search up restaurants and kind of just look what kind of piques my eye. I like going to little spots too. I find
those are the best
ones. I find the little spots that a little diner or something that not a lot of people know about. Those have the best food. They're the best food you'll ever eat. Even the taco trucks on the side. Holy shit, those are good. If I see a food truck on the side of the road, I stop 90% of the time, especially the ones at the farms, because the roast beef and stuff they'll give you, it's all fresh. It's amazing. It's so good.
So far in the show, Connor, we had people who had years of experience behind the wheel, and they had done it, some cases, 5 decades, you know. And you're a young guy. So talk to the people that think truck drivers are out there to cause problem for an average driver, you know, or they just dislike trucks on the road.
No, that's, if anyone thinks that, you're a fucking idiot. Because we're, at least most of them, you're pretty respectful for cars. I mean, people cut you off all the time, so you kind of get used to it. You realize that the only thing the road race is going to do is like ruin your day and piss you off. Like, people are going to be idiots everywhere you go. You just got to put up with it. I mean, at least me, I'm not out there to piss anyone off or something like that. Usually they piss me off. I mean, I don't know, when they see me flying by in the fast lane, it means speed up. But I don't try and cause any problems. For the most part, I just let people
sometimes,
do
you
their thing.
know, the thing is, people do not realize how important trucking is.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, everything is brought to these warehouses and stores through trucks, right?
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes people don't realize this. They just think, you know, trucks are they don't like sharing their road with trucks, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes they forget.
Shit, don't share the road with me. Fine, you won't eat. You know,
Yeah,
starve.
that's
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll just eat the cows and pigs. Just bring them home, you know?
Connor, I want to thank you for being on the show. And
Appreciate it.
we'll see you guys next Sunday.
Sweet.